Peace. What up, fam? It's your brother, Mr. Holipsism, coming at you once again. Um, Hold on. I hope y'all don't hear this fan. It's going a little loud. Yeah, man. I want to do a little show, little impromptu show, because this was something that was on my mind. Um, I went back and I listened to the live stream I did with Dynas from Search for Your Uru. And we did a show about the 3 questions to ask a Black Power American and a militant integrationist. Peace. What's up, Black African Power Network? You can go to his channel and check out that show. It was like 2 live streams ago, I think. I think he did, no, about 3. I think he did 2 more since then. But the topic for today, I don't know how long I'm gonna be on here because this is not really require me doing a lot of talking for this because it's basically self-explanatory. But the topic is organization isn't sexy, and I got in quotes, enough for Black Power Americans and militant integrationists. And in the description, I say, when it comes to the subject of so-called revolutionary, militant, radical, kill Whitey segments of the Black cultural conscious community taking over the system or taking down the man, Black nationalists and African-centered progressives of the BAIO say, we don't believe you. You need more people. And that's a quote from Jay-Z from the Takeover, which is ironic. Let me start off by saying this. I'm very proud of the progress that the BAIO has made. I'm very proud of the quality of people that we're getting within the network, first and foremost. You know, when you love something and when you want something to do well, you're never going to be satisfied. So I don't want people to take this as me complaining or bitching and moaning about, things, or, like I can get on this, oh, the BAIO should have 1 million members. But I know most people that's even in this circle who listen to Dynas and other channels like that are African centered or nationalist or progressive, they don't even know. They come into the chat room a lot and they say, well, what's the BAIO? Blah, 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 blah. So that's more of a marketing and promotion thing. And we haven't really done any full scale national promotion of the BAIO. So I can't really complain. We basically dealing with word of mouth, and I'm pretty satisfied with that. But when it comes to word of mouth, the progress is not going to be as huge or as great as if you put out some marketing campaign. But at this stage of our development, I'm very cool with where we're at. And I'm definitely cool with the quality of people that we're getting in the network. With that being said, it is extremely frustrating for me when I see people using all types of excuses to keep from joining the network. People that are supposed to be about Black empowerment, supposed to be about Black people getting socioeconomic and political power, or whatever, supposed to be giving us a lot of resistance when it comes to joining a free site. Somebody in the live stream that I did with Dynas, peace Dundada, they said that, well, it's stupid to join an organization without asking questions, and I want to ask questions before I join anything. And I said, well, that must have been a hell of a questionnaire that you had for YouTube before you join, right? And then they say, oh, well, that YouTube isn't an organization. Well, yes, it is. First of all, number one. Second of all, you are joining an organization when you join YouTube, because your membership in YouTube allows them to approach advertisers and let them know how many people are actually in their network. Peace African People of Love organization. And the BAIO is a social network just like YouTube's. YouTube is basically a social network. So it is an how is their organization any different than ours except in scale? The concept is the same. You have people coming online, exchanging videos, posting stuff up, blah, 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 blah. The only difference is BAIO is Black owned. That's the only difference. Our social network is totally controlled by us. There ain't no white people involved. Hey, peace, Mr. Cat. So I just find it funny that there's always these lines in the sands or this checklist before you can join up to a free site where we're not asking you for any money. We're not asking you for um, any really strenuous commitment. You know, it just basically join the BAIO social network, join your local chapter, and meet people in your area. Or maybe that's the problem. Maybe people are afraid of letting people know that they're actually for real. And that's one of the reasons why we have to move beyond the online thing and start dealing with each other offline. Because, like I said, I've met Minister DeWood, I've met neo-black nationalists. I have not physically met Kala yet because Kala's in VA, so we haven't met physically, but we talk on the phone all the time. And it's kind of strange that I haven't met Kala. That's funny to me, but we speak all the time. And there's other people I've met, you know, Brother Tim and all the rest of them. So I think that meeting each other and knowing that the person that you're interacting with is a real person is important. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just talking. I even got my back turned to the screen. Peace, Brother Nell. Peace, Jim Denson. Um, I never met Elia. Who's that? Who's Elia? I don't know. But yeah, let me get back to the title of the show, and it's, you know, to let y'all know why I even did this. What I noticed, and you probably have noticed it too, people have turned this entire struggle and fight for empowerment and this cultural conscious thing into a fetish. It's no different than the next show of Power or the next, you know, show of Luke Cage or whatever. It's like people have turned this into entertainment. So when you go into the chats, and keep in mind, um, my chat is a little bit different because I'm pretty much um, intolerant of bullshit. So whenever somebody comes into our cipher and tries to disturb our cipher, you don't have to worry, they're gonna be gone. Like I have absolutely no problem with kicking people out and banning them if you're not in line with what we're about. And to a certain degree, you have to have on blinders when you're trying to do something. To a certain degree, not all the time. But you notice when a horse is in a race, they have those blinders on the side of their eyes because they want the horse to concentrate on what's in front of it. And sometimes we have to do that. You know, it all depends on what the goal is. And when you know that you have a goal and you know that where you're trying to go, you got to put those blinders on so you can see where you're going and how to get there. But for us, it's like I said, it's entertainment. It's like we tune in because we like the drama of this conscious thing. Like if two people are beefing, you notice that the views on that video are going to go through the roof. You know, like when Tariq was beefing with Umar, it's like, oh shit, you know, it's like Floyd Mayweather versus Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is. It's like it's basically just entertainment. People get their popcorn out, and they try to pit one against the other to see who is more petty, who's more who's capable of ranking more and playing the dozens more than the other, and all of that other bullshit. I'm gonna tell you, when it comes to me, man, if y'all notice, I don't do videos that often, and when I do a video, it's usually because I have something that I want to express. And it's what I want to express today is that all of these people talking about, and I'm gonna take some shots at some people that's close to me as well. I won't say no names, but the people that in our circle know who I'm talking about. And it's all with love, no beef, no nothing. But all these get out in the streets, we gonna do this and we gonna hold people accountable, we gonna take over the system and revolution and da 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 da, all this bullshit. I don't believe you. You are full of shit. And you know how I know you're full of shit? Because you don't even have the energy to organize. And that's why I said organization ain't sexy. That's why on the picture of the video for this, I have an empty boardroom. Because that's basically our nation right there. We refuse to organize. We refuse to sit down with each other and meet and organize and map out plans and strategies and whatever. Because it ain't sexy. Like what the BAIO is doing is not sexy. What are we asking you to do? Sign up to a social network, join your local chapter, meet with people of like mind in your area. That's boring. That's not sexy. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing sexy about that. As a matter of fact, it doesn't require no ultimate sacrifice. You don't have to be like the guy at the end of Independence Day who rides his rocket ship into the alien aircraft and blows up him and the air. You don't have to do anything like that. It's so simple to the point of lunacy. Because what we're trying to do is form an actual we. We're trying to form an actual us, an actual our. So when people say black folks, we need to do this, we got something about us and our and all of these collective terms that they use. At least if you're in the BAIO and you want nationhood, we can point to that and say, these are the people that want a nation of their own. So this is not sexy. You know, for people who join up and then they expecting this some world shattering event to happen, or are we going to take you on some roller coaster ride of nationhood? You might as well unsign and unsubscribe right now, because that's not what this is about. This is not what this is about. It's about, first of all, letting people know that you're a real black person, that you're a real person. Because this screen name shit is for the birds. I mean, we all have screen names. You know, my name is not Holipsism. You know, that's not my real name. But everybody that's, you know, if you're on Facebook, you know what my real name is. So it takes people coming together, people networking with each other, people socializing with each other. There's a method to our madness. That's the reason why we created a social network. It wasn't just an accident, because our people have to get together. The people that want nationhood are so scattered all over the place that we don't have any place where we can go to. And I should say, we don't have the infrastructure in place until now, where nationalists can, and African-centered progressives and people who want nationhood can. Peace, Game and Grind, peace, S. Moore, peace, Hostile Adept. I hope I didn't miss anybody. I'm sorry. So now we have that. And there's been a couple of people. Kyla showed me somebody decided that they were not going to, they were going to leave the BAIO, and they sent him a private message. And the private message was kind of incoherent. You didn't really understand why. They said like, oh, well, I'm still going to send people to the BAIO because I believe in the organization. Like, and I'm sitting there going, well, why are you leaving it? Doesn't make any sense. But you know, trust me, that person is probably the only person that's ever done that. Like, it's been one, maybe two. There's this guy that Colin knows in Kenya who I guess he expected us to roll out the red carpet for his membership. Like, I guess he felt that he was special. You know, he needs to have, because when he got into the Kenya group and there weren't that many people in the Kenya group, well, there ain't nobody in here. You expect me to build this up? And da 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 da. I'm like, yo, Kala, tell that nigga to get the fuck out the group. Who needs what? You act like you're the only black person in Kenya? You know, I'm tired of these special Negroes, man. I'm not no special Negro. I'm so not high maintenance, y'all. I'm tell you, I'm so not high maintenance. I can be a part of a group. I can be a part of a collection of people working towards something because I've worked on projects before. I'm not the king. I'm not sitting up here like I'm so fucking special than anybody else. There's people in the BAIO who have skills and talent that I do not have. There are people that are engineers, people who are architects, people who know how to build buildings and know how to build bridges. I don't know how to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the jack of all trades, master of none. You know, so I don't have this high maintenance thing where like people are asking, yo, is so and so or this talking head a part of the BAIO? And I'm like, no, and they're not going to be, because for you to come in as a black talking head, sign up to the BAIO, and then go to your local chapter, that makes you like everybody else. Why would you want to do that? If you're a black talking head, you want subjects. You want to be the king. You want to be the prince. You want to be the pharaoh. You want to be this, that, and some other grandiose title. You want people to worship you. People like that ain't going to sign up to the BAIO. Because, like I said before, you know who I am within the context of the BAIO, other than the person who helps maintain it, which is nothing. I mean, for me, the money that I put toward maintaining that on a yearly basis is nothing for me. Same thing with Kala. Between Kala, Minister, me, Earl, and whoever else is contributing the inner admin circle, and all the admin circle means is that we're maintaining the site. That's it. That's what we mean by admins. We're in charge of the overall structure and maintenance of the site. That's it. We're not admins over anybody in Cali. If you're in PA or if you're in Georgia, we're not no admins over you. You're a self-contained unit in your chapter. So there's no leaders. There's nobody. There's no kings. There's nobody that has to be high maintenance that you gotta. Oh, let's make sure so and so is all right. Man, fuck that. I got time for that bullshit, man. And neither should y'all. All these high maintenance niggas, we don't need them. What we need is our people getting together of like mind. And I don't want to stray too far from where I was going to go with this. I want to get into this. I want to ask you guys, well, I'm going to say this. If you don't have the energy to organize, then you don't have the energy to fight. And I was going to use this example later on, but I think I need to use it up front so that you guys know what I'm talking about. If you were to see me, you come up to me, right? And I'm saying, you know what? Yo, fam, I'm going to whoop Floyd Mayweather's ass, man. Fuck Floyd Mayweather. I'm going to whoop his ass. As a matter of fact, when I'm done with him, I'm going to whoop Errol Spence ass, and then I'm going to beat up Terrence Crawford. I'm going to knock out all three of them niggas, man. Okay, I can say that. You ain't seen me in the gym. You ain't seen me running in the morning. You don't see me training in any way. All you see me doing is telling you that I'm going to knock somebody out and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. But what you actually see me doing is sitting in my fucking living room or sitting on the corner in the stoop, drinking a 40 or smoking a blunt. But I'm telling you that I'm going to beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm going to beat Errol Spence. I'm going to beat Terrence Crawford. What would you say, or how would you assess what type of person I am? Are you going to take me seriously? And is that analogy any different from a nigga out here talking about how he gonna do this to the system, he gonna do this to the white man, but you can't organize? So you can't organize, but you're gonna beat an organized nation? Do you see how fucking retarded and stupid that is? So I'm gonna beat Floyd Mayweather with no training, no trainers, no coaches, no diet plan, no nothing. I'm gonna be just eating Cheetos and whatever and smoking blunts, and I'm gonna go out there and beat a guy who's training every fucking day. Come on, man. It's to the point now where I get angry at this shit. And I'm sorry, I kind of got ahead of myself, but I had to make that analogy because it's just perfect for what we're talking about. If you ain't got the energy to organize, you ain't got the energy to fight. So all these niggas talking about you got to get out here in the streets, man. Fuck the streets. The streets, nigga. First of all, oh god, the streets. The streets sold out a long time ago, nigga. There used to be a time where the streets was the litmus test for what's real and what's not. That time is over. When Justin Timberlake and the rest of these guys can get and fucking what is he, this white girl sing? I don't even know these people, can get a laminated ghetto pass because they cut a check to you. That shows you that the streets ain't shit. Streets ain't no fucking different. Streets got to get out here in these streets and do what? I hate this fucking vagaries, man. This vague bullshit. We got to get out here in these streets. We got to hold people accountable. What the fuck does that mean? I still haven't gotten an answer to that. What the fuck does holding somebody accountable mean? What does it really mean? If you don't do what I do, I'm going to get on Twitter and I'm going to tell people that you ain't do what I do. That's holding people accountable? I'm going to get on Facebook and I'm going to put a mean tweet on Twitter, and I'm going to get on Facebook and put a Facebook post. I'm going to do a YouTube video. I'm going to tell everybody how you didn't do what you said you was going to do. That's holding people accountable? What does holding people accountable mean? See, this is the thing. I keep hearing these catchphrases. I keep hearing these buzzwords that people throw out to get an emotional response from our people. I keep hearing that. But what I don't hear is anybody questioning the words that they're hearing from these people. This is why I said on the show, 3 questions to ask a Black Power American in a militant integration. Question number 1, who the fuck is we? Who the fuck is our? And who the fuck is us? Number 1. Number 2, what is the Black agenda? Number 3, what is the end game for Black people here in America? Because that cuts through all the bullshit. You don't have to go through all of the social issues and the buzzwords and, the so-and-so agenda and all of this dumb shit. It cuts right to the heart of the matter. Peace. What's up, Samuel Stevenson? What's up, Philly Chew 215? What's up? Oh, I ain't even going to, how do I pronounce this? THKMRA. I don't know how to pronounce that. But peace, everybody who came into the chat room. I'm sorry. I'm just going off here. Let me get back so I don't lose track of what I'm going. All right. Anger dissipates. This is the reason why you have to organize, because you can be angry. Do you remember what happened when the Rodney King verdict went down? And remember what happened in California? In California, and don't get me wrong, it was glorious what happened. I loved it. When I saw that it was going down and I saw white people getting pulled out of trucks and all that shit, I mean, on an emotional, just knee-jerk reaction level, it felt good. Because it was like a release. But what happened? After all of that went down and after all of that anger toward the white people and the white man, and the people was angry and going outside and rioting and tearing up and doing all this other stuff, what happened? You know what happened? Those unorganized people found out what organized people actually do and how they win in the end. What they did was they went back and checked the videotapes. Let's take a look and see if we can identify all these motherfuckers that was losing their mind, pulling people out of cars, doing all of this stuff, and blah, 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 blah. This is what happens when you organize. They let you get your little shit off. It was sort of like, and I hate to use this analogy because I love the Hulk. So if anybody saw Infinity War, I hate to even say this, but it just fits with what I'm saying. The Hulk attacked Thanos. Thanos let the Hulk get his shit off, and then he beat the Hulk's ass. I'm sorry. I love the Hulk, man. I hate to see them do the Hulk like that. But you know what I'm saying. That I'm just making a point. They let you get your shit off. And then after your anger dissipated, they got their organized selves together, which they were already organized to begin with. And they just started picking out, going through the videotapes and picking. And I think everybody who was on that video got arrested and got dealt with. That's what organized people do. So in conclusion, well, not in conclusion, but in conclusion of that particular point, if you don't have the energy to organize, you ain't got the energy to fight. Just like I feel the same way about you that you would feel about me if I'm telling you I'm gonna beat Floyd Mayweather and I ain't even gotten a goddamn gym. I ain't even go to a boxing gym, but I'm gonna beat Floyd Mayweather. Okay. Another thing, and this is something that I thought about when I was writing it down, because I'm just writing the bullet points so I can touch on them. I noticed that black men always complain about emotionalism of women. Oh, women is too emotional. They don't think logically. You see where I'm going with this? How could you make a complaint about the emotionalism of women and how they don't think logically when the way that you maneuver and react in response to this system is all emotions and no logic, and you're a man? So do you really have a problem with emotionalism? As a matter of fact, I've said this many times. Some of the most emotional Negroes or emotional people I've ever met have been thugs. The people that's supposed to be the toughest, the people that everybody's afraid of. Some of the most emotional niggas you've ever seen. It's so they little psyche is shattered so easily. I've seen thugs lose their composure because a guy was just sniffing around some chick that they like, or even their woman. But you can be emotional all you want to and not deal with this system logically, but then you expect your woman to not be emotional and deal with you logically. Good luck with that one. And the last point is, I can't take you seriously. If you're not organizing, do not come to me with this emotional bullshit. Like one thing, me and Carla get into it about the whole Black Lives Matter thing. And what I try to explain to Carla is, and I understand his point, and he has a good point. But from my perspective, all right, first let's say this. Let's get the facts out. The original Black Lives Matter is not the Black Lives Matter that exists right now. The Black Lives Matter that exists right now has been hijacked by the LGBTQ XYZ community. So now instead of the issue being police brutality and black folks being killed by the police, it done morphed into some other shit where it's become a fight for LGBT rights. I'm like, how the fuck did that happen? But that's what it is. The original um, Black Lives Matter had a website, um, Campaign Zero, I believe, with the website, and I think it's still there. That's the original Black Lives Matter. If you go and you look up blacklivesmatter.com, that's the co-opted version of Black Lives Matter. So I always tell Carla, I understand that you have an issue with Black Lives Matter, but you have to tell people that, because you don't want to. It would be as if somebody came out with another version of the BAIO, and then people started operating off of their version to put down us, the original people who started it. You see what I'm saying? So just like I wouldn't want somebody to do that to us, you can't do that to the people that started the Black Lives Matter movement. That's all I'm saying. You ain't even got to be down with it, but at least put those facts out there before you start talking shit. Anyway, that's just an aside. So I can't take you seriously, man. I cannot take you seriously if you're not willing to organize. Ba, 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 ba. The original Black Lives Matter was not initiated by white folks. Sorry. The one that you're talking about now is. That's totally white liberal backed. African People Love Organization. No, 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 no. Okay. I used this analogy before. I'm going to use it again. And actually, no, I already touched on this, but I just want to use another analogy that you guys have heard me use before. Can a group of guys who like football or love football beat the Philadelphia Eagles? Yes or no? Before I go on, I want you to type in the chat room whether this group of guys who really love football and they watch it every Sunday and whatever, and they really into it, they go to the games. If you put them together, can they beat the Philadelphia Eagles? Philly Chew 215. I knew you would say hell no. Why? Why? We all know why. Because the Philadelphia Eagles are an organized team. The Philadelphia Eagles have training before the season starts. The Philadelphia Eagles have coaches, trainers, physicians, dietitians, top level equipment, plays, strategies, tactics, talent, uniforms, padding. they are an organized team. You're going to take an organized team, put them on a football field with a bunch of guys who just love football. I guarantee you by the end of those 4 quarters, when you get them all out of the hospital, they ain't going to love football as much as they did before that game started. Something tells me their love of football is going to get smashed into that goddamn field every fucking play. And when they look up at that scoreboard, if they can move their necks, if they haven't been carted off to a hospital, they're going to see that they scored absolutely nothing, and the Eagles probably went into the triple digits in amount of points that they put on the board. It would be a complete and utter slaughter. Is that not another example of how organization will always beat out people that's unorganized? I mean, I can go all day with this. And do I really have to? Because you guys know this. So I was looking at the art of war. Yeah, some of them niggas might be. Yeah, they'll be dead. There might be a few casualties there. What's up, Beats? I read the art of war many times, and when I thought of this title, I immediately thought of the section in the art of war where they talked about energy. And I wanted to give you a few quotes from the art of war from Sun Tzu when it comes to energy. Well, first, hold on. I want to show you before I give the quotes where this is coming from. The overall point that he was making, and then I want to give you these subordinate points because I really like these subordinate points. Sun Tzu said the control of a large force is the same principle as the control of a few men. It is merely a question of dividing up their numbers. Fighting with a large army under your command is no wise different from fighting with a small one. It is merely a question of instituting signs and signals. So basically what he's saying is the size of your army and the size of your force doesn't matter. That they both go by a certain set of principles. And that basically means how you organize your forces. So you can organize a small force, you can organize a very large force. But the point is it has to be organized. That's the point. And he raises these points, which I thought were beautiful. I want to read. I took 3 of them because I think that's all you really need. He said, there are not more than 5 musical notes, yet the combination of these 5 give rise to more melodies that can ever be heard. Did you get that? He said, there are not more than 5 musical notes, yet the combinations of these 5 give rise to more melodies than can ever be heard. Second point he made is, there are not more than 5 primary colors: blue, yellow, red, white, and black. Yet in combination, they produce more hues than can ever be seen. And the last point he made is, there are not, well, it's not the last, but I took this as a third. There are not more than 5 cardinal tastes: sour, acrid, acidic, I guess, salt, sweet, and bitter. Yet combinations of them yield more flavors than can ever be tasted. Do you see the point that he's making there, and the same point that I'm making? And now do you see the importance of the BAIO and the importance of joining, the importance of joining the BAIO if you are a person who thinks that Black folks should have a nation of their own, and that Black folks should have complete social, economic, and political control over their reality, not living within somebody else's context and trying to be equal with them, but have our own shit. Sort of like, I guess the best example in the current situation is Wakanda. Wakanda was African controlled. There was no outside Western forces behind Wakanda. Wakanda controlled their own economy, their own infrastructure, their own nation. So the question is, do you want to continue to fight to be equal in somebody else's shit, or do you want to have your own shit? And as far as these people like talking this bullshit about, oh, well, we got to get what's ours. We would put a whole lot of time in this and that. You know what? I'm going to address that. I'm going to address that with an article that I posted in the BAIO. I'm going to look for this article too. I am going to look for this just for this point that I'm getting ready to make. Ah. I did this in 2015, December 6th. Let me read it to you. The title of this blog that I put was Divorcing a Woman versus Divorcing America. I notice a lot of brothers, when they are getting a divorce from their wife, rarely fight over the house or material possessions. I've never heard a brother say, I've invested a lot into this house and car. I have a stake here. They are willing to give up everything just as long as they are not in a relationship with that woman. The price they have to pay by staying in the relationship just to hold on to those material possessions is too high. So they let them go and move on with their lives and start over again. If this is so, why do these same brothers want to hold on to America and stay in a relationship with the very same white man they bitch, moan, and complain about so much? How come they say, we have invested a lot into America, we have a stake here, and it makes so much sense to them politically, but no sense to them when it comes to their own personal lives? Why do they not experience one shred of cognitive dissonance? Why are they so against the concept of establishing something new, a nation of their own, and breaking away from and leaving their bad experience, America? So you can understand divorcing a woman. And like I said, I've seen it, and you guys know, every brother that I've ever talked to, when it comes to him getting away from that woman, he don't give a shit what his house was, what kind of car they had. He just don't want to be near that woman no more. And so he said, if that's the price I have to pay to give up these material things, peace. because I ain't being with that bitch. So we understand it completely when it comes to, to that. But then we don't understand it when it comes to America. We want to stay with America and get what's ours because we have a stake in it, because we've been in it here so long, so we might as well get something out of it. So you're going to stay in the abusive relationship. You're going to stay in the house, keep getting your ass kicked every day. To get what? At least sometimes the woman does get something, or the person does get something out of divorce sometimes. In America, what are you getting? What's the big payoff for all these ass kickings? What's the big payoff for all of this killing of our people that they're doing? Jim Denson, you got it right. It's really, it's really that. It's really that, man. They don't really believe that they can survive on their own because that man been whooping their ass and been telling them, bitch, you lucky I'm with you because nobody else wants you. You go out there, you're gonna die. I'm the only one that really gives a fuck about you. And I don't even fucking care about you. But I tell you one thing, I care about you more than that nigga outside. And we keep hearing that shit and hearing that shit. Why do you think there's so much anti-African bullshit in our minds? Because the white man has been telling you since we've been here, Africa, y'all lucky you here. You better not go to Africa, man. You might die. They might kill you over in Africa. All of this bullshit. Don't that sound very, very familiar to that abusive man telling that woman that she can't go outside and find anybody else because he's the only one that can deal with her? Don't it sound the same? Because it is the fucking same. It's the same. And like I said, man, I'm a type of person that ponders. I would never present anything to the people that I didn't go through and I didn't embrace wholeheartedly and I didn't research and I didn't come to a conclusion through a lot, through blood, sweat, and tears. I can't think of anything else that I believe in more than land, infrastructure, and nationhood for Black people here in America. I mean, oh God, why did I say that? That we talk about a slip. Oh Lord, let's rewind that. Land, infrastructure, and nationhood outside of America. I can't think of anything that I believe in more than that. And that's the reason why I'm so stubborn when it comes to this. That's the reason why I keep going at it. That's the reason why I keep hammering that point home, because nobody that I see is coming up with a counter to that that's cohesive, that's logical, that makes any type of fucking sense. And like I said, when you ask those three questions, that destroys the whole narrative of the Black Power American and the militant integrationist. The Captain America Negro is off the table anyway. I mean, he's basically picked his side. Yeah, that was a Freudian slip. Damn, that was. Whew. That's what happens when your mouth can't keep up with the things going through your head. Peace, Cameron Hill. Yeah, man. So we can totally let me post. I think I can post a link. Let me send you all that article so you can see. This was in 2015. I put that up. And now that's another thing. I'm at the point now where when it comes to debating, I don't have to really come up with any new arguments. All I have to really do is copy and paste at this point. That may sound arrogant, but I think it's just factual. I could just copy and paste at this point. Because I get them. Me and Dynas go through this all the time. We get the same bullshit over and over again, so it's easy to address. That's why if y'all notice, my comebacks are pretty quick because I've heard it all before. I've heard it all before. Like the person on the show the other day, who said we should ask questions because before we join an organization, we should be asking a whole lot of questions and da 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 da. And right on the snap, I said, "Oh yeah, you mean like the questions that you asked YouTube before you signed up?" Shut them down immediately. We're brainwashed and we don't know it. I used to do a little test to show that people are brainwashed. There's a little test you can do. Throw out a name and then ask the person how they respond or how they feel about the name that you threw out. It could be a person or it could be a thing or something, but just throw it out. Like say Donald Trump, say Putin, um, Cornel West, Eric, what's that guy named? Eric Dyson, or whatever the fuck his name is. Just throw out a name. See if that person has a negative reaction to the name. And then after you get the reaction to that name, ask the person, well, what did this person do? 9 times out of 10, that person cannot answer that question. And the reason why they have the negative reaction is because they've been brainwashed. Yeah, say Africa. What's the first thought that comes to your mind? Say Africa, like a negative reaction. And I know about brainwashing because I was brainwashed. All of us have been brainwashed before we came into some type of consciousness. So I'm not above anybody. I've been just as dumb and as ignorant as everybody else at one point. Like I said, I told people a long time. First of all, the white woman was done. Even when I was dumb and didn't know shit, had no idea of culture and whatever, I knew, even when I was dumb, black women smoke white women. I ain't never looked at no white woman and go, God damn. I seen some sisters that make you change religions. Sisters are there's no women on the planet Earth that can do for me what a black woman can. So even when I was dumb, like I say this, and I hope that the sisters don't don't take this as an insult, because it's really not. I don't want to feel like I'm objectifying them. But the black woman's ass prevented me from being a Negro. If not for the ass of the black woman, Holip would have been a complete Negro out here. So even when I didn't know anything, I knew that. I know shit. That's what I'm fucking talking about. But let me not be ignorant. Let me go back. Let me go back. But yeah, man, it's the truth. It's the truth. I'm keeping it real. When I was ignorant as hell, Cameron Hill, why are we constantly trying to get white people to see us as their equals? They will never see us as equal or anything else except as inferior people, which is a lie. You're right. You're right. Now, I'm not taking calls today because I'm going to probably be off of here like at 1, because I only want to do an hour. Please tell these coons that got it effed up. Yeah, yeah, serious. I know y'all can relate to that. I hope y'all can relate to it, because I'm telling you, man, when I was younger, I was in awe of and I'm talking about black women. I didn't even like girls my age. I never liked girls my age. I think it was maybe like 1 or 2 girls my age that I had a crush on. But for the most part, I had a crush on teachers. I had a crush on grown ass women or girls who I wasn't supposed to be in their face even talking to. I'm a little boy and I was up in 18-year-old girl's face. That's just me. But I was in awe of black women. And I'm not even talking on some cultural, all that bullshit. I'm talking about just on a strictly physical, carnal level. Black women always had me in awe when I was younger. I used to, man, please. White women? Really? White women's shelf life is 25, son. Keep it real. After 25, you show me the white equivalent of Angela Bassett, who's goddamn, what, she pushing almost 60 now? Are you serious? Show me a 50, 60-year-old white woman and stand her next to a 50, 60-year-old black woman. Are you serious? Britney Spears was hot when she was 8 in her teens. The moment that bitch hit 25, she went downhill. And I'm talking about hot according to white standards hot. She ain't never been shit to me. But that's their shelf life, 25, and it's all downhill from there. I'm telling you, am I lying? It's all downhill from there. Ain't no white Angela Bassett's. I noticed there ain't no names popping up in this chat room. Please. 26. You giving them an extra year. I say 25. 26 is on a decline. But I see black women that's 50 years old holding it down. I'm talking about that can compete with younger girls body wise. Holding it down. 50 ain't really old for a black woman or for black people. Oh, I'm not debating nobody. Trust me on that, African people. I ain't debating nobody. I'm just letting y'all know. But yeah, man, to get back to the topic and those, oh, what did y'all think about those quotes from Sun Tzu about the 5 musical notes, the 5 primary colors, and the 5 cardinal tastes? Because it just gets back to the overall point of what I'm trying to make, man. You can't do anything until you organize. I keep saying this over and over and over again. But what's going to happen is, if you notice, if you start talking about organization to people, they may acknowledge it as the truth. They may grudgingly give you that, yeah, we do need to, but then they'll go right back to the emotionalism, right back to the we gotta start killing these motherfuckers. That's the problem. We ain't got no heart. No, nigga. The problem is you're not organized. Black people have heart. First of all, this whole thing about black people being scared, I don't believe that. I don't believe that they're scared. I believe they're not organized. It's like, is it fear? All right. The best way I can put it is like this. Let's say that I'm going to fight Brock Lesnar. I know that Brock Lesnar is a UFC fighter. He's a Olympic level wrestler, and he's big and strong as hell. I'm going to fight him, but I haven't trained. I haven't gone to the gym. I haven't changed my diet. I'm still, eating, all of the horrible hot dogs and whatever and bullshit that I'm eating. But I got a scheduled fight with Brock Lesnar. Am I a punk because I'm concerned about my safety and my health in that fight? Does that make me soft? Or does that make me logical? Does that make me reason? Does that mean that I have fucking common sense? No, nigga, you did not train. You're getting ready to go into a ring with a trained fighter. He is going to kill you. So if I go into the fight just fighting and I don't got no training, that means what? That means that I'm hard. You know what's going to be hard? That beat down is going to be hard. That's what's going to be hard. It ain't a problem with fear. The problem is we're not organized. We know that white folks are organized, so that's the reason why we're reluctant to go against them. We know what's going on. We're not stupid. We know what's happening. And the problem is nobody wants to organize. Oh, I shouldn't say that. Let me not put that out there as a blanket statement. The black talking heads, the intelligentsia, the representatives, and the leaders of black folks do not want black folks to organize because they feel if you organize, it's going to cut them out. You won't need them anymore. And I know that sounds really simple to the point of lunacy, but it's the truth. It's the truth. They feel that once you become organized, you're going to see them for the frauds that they actually are. And they're right. It's not like they're lying. They are right. What's the point? Do you think you're really going to need these black talking heads once you get organized? Because when you get organized, all right, let's say in a perfect world, 1 million people join the BAIO in a perfect world. No, actually, let me not do that. 220,000 people join the BAIO because I feel that that's what's going to be the amount of people that's going to be actively involved in nationhood. About 250,000. I'll just throw that out there. All those 250,000 each join the either the state chapter, well, I'll keep it to America. I won't even use outside of America. Let's just say 250,000 in America all join their state chapters throughout the 50 states. All of the people, all of those 250 join whatever their profession is within the group. So let's say you are into military and law, you join that group. Let's say that you're into STEM, you join that group. Let's say you're into education, you join that group. You know what I'm saying? You're in the medical industry, blah, blah, blah. Everybody gets in where they fit in all the groups in the BAIO. We got 250,000 of them. When you start picking representatives and leaders, are you going to pick Michael Eric Dyson or Cornel West? Or, and I'm not saying this to put them down. I'm just saying, are you going to pick Tariq Nasheed and Umar Johnson? Really? Is that going to be the quality of leader and the quality of representative that you have under those conditions once you become organized? No. And those leaders that you pick, those representatives that you pick, are going to take on a completely different personality than what you're used to, because they know that they work for you. They know that the point is for you not to empower them, but for them to represent you. Totally different dynamic than what's going on now with so-called black leaders and black representatives and black talking heads. They feel that you're there for them. You're there to help build their brand. They're not there for you. They're not there to represent you and put your interests first and make sure that the system works for you. Do you see what I'm saying? This is the reason why nationhood is so important and organization is so important. But before you can even become a nation, you have to first organize. How many people want nationhood? What are the skills of the people in that group? How many architects do we have? How many people is in IT? How many people is in STEM? How many doctors we have? How many dentists do we have? You see what I'm saying? We have to have a tangible and concrete we, a tangible and concrete our, a tangible and concrete us. Until you have that, all you have is a bunch of scattered individuals aligned by aesthetic similarities. For your phenotype looks black. Everybody can identify you as black, so therefore you're black. That's the only thing that organizes us in a loose fashion, an unorganized fashion, nothing related to socioeconomic and political power. And that's the reason why everybody can dog us. That's the reason why everybody can diss us. That's the reason why everybody hates us. Because it's like what Ferris Bueller said in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He said, you can't really respect somebody that kisses your ass. White folks love us because we are beneath them. So they keep us around because it makes them feel better about themselves. That's the reason why when you know what? You should have realized this when you came up with the term Black Lives Matter. When you say Black Lives Matter to white people, I'm gonna tell you how they feel. They feel like you're insulting them when you do that. Do you notice how strongly they react to that phrase? And these, I don't believe that people understood the dynamic of what's going on when they created that. They really didn't get it. Like they should have, because if they got it, they would have drawn something from the resistance and the blowback they got when they came up with that name. Nigga, you are not equal to me. My life matters. Fuck your life. You're here for me. Who the fuck cares about you? And they get offended in the same way that a master would be offended by a slave when the slave comes up to the master. Oh, my life is just as important as yours. Like, yeah, important. You my bitch. Your job is to do whatever the fuck I tell you to do. That's what your job is. Bitches don't have opinions. Who gives a fuck what your opinion is? You're there to do what I tell you to do. This is their mentality. And you know why? They should have that mentality, because we don't have any on other than the BAIO. Where's the heavy resistance against America? And I'm not talking about this bullshit where you mad because, well, you don't want to stand for the flag and all this stupid shit. I'm talking about real resistance where you actually want some power outside of America. Where is it? Who's talking about it? Who can our children listen to who is talking about nationhood? If they ain't listening to this show or listen to the Dynasts or listen to that small circle of black nationalists and African-centered progressives, they ain't gonna hear it from nobody. Who? I'm not talking about some little YouTube channel called Holipsism's Haven. I'm talking about your kids turning on the TV and either watching cable or watching mainstream TV or going out in their community. Who are they going to go to and who are they going to see as a reference for nationhood? It don't exist yet, not on that level. But with the BAIO gaining momentum and gaining ground, and with the people inside of the BAIO gaining, going out on membership drives and trying to connect with other people. And like I said, connect with other people of like mind, not convince people. Because to be quite frank with you, we don't want a whole bunch of people coming into the BAIO that's not down with what we're about. Oh, damn, what's going on? Jews don't get reparations from Russia, and Irish Americans don't from the Brits. They organize and move to a country more receptive to them and acquired power there. You should ask what I mean before reacting like a bitch. Damn, Isaac, what happened? what, what did I miss? I'm up here running my mouth. Is there beef going on? I don't think it's no. It's probably just some miscommunication. We're all good in here, man. Like all the people that I see up in here are level-headed people. Like I don't see anybody who's on some bullshit. So maybe it's just a miscommunication. But yeah, man, that's just what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to just talk about how this organization thing is not sexy. And the reason why BAIO is slowly growing and not getting mass movement is because um it's not sexy. The way that we're doing things is not sexy. We're not having no um WWE type events and all this other. Our stuff is really boring, man. It's going to be like the local chapters are having Google Chat so they can meet the people in their local chapters before they actually have a meet and greet and meet up. You know? Yeah, connect, not convince. Done data. You got that. I'm giving you credit for that. I'm going to use that. Can I use that? Can I steal that from you? Connect, not convince. I love that because it's short, simple, and it's to the point. We need stuff like that. We need stuff like that. That's why I said land infrastructure nationhood. LIN. Short, simple, to the point. No long ass diatribes have to be done before we can tell what it is that we want and what we're about. Thank you. Thank you, Dundada. Read Nation Building. Yes. Also read the Bible of Black Power, Blueprint for Black Power by Amos Wilson. A lot of people want to use Blueprint for Black Power like it's the Bible, and it's not. You got to remember that we're reading books from people that were around at a certain time. So not everything is going to be done the exact same way because we have more information and more things going on right now and more things available to us now in terms of knowledge than they did. So this is why I can read a book that was written in the 50s and I don't judge it by modern standards. You know what I'm saying? I don't judge it by what's going on today because that person was only dealing with the knowledge that they had at the time. And keep in mind, I'm not saying that the book is dated because Blueprint for Black Power is timeless. The principles within it are timeless. I'm just saying if I've always said that if Amos Wilson was alive, Amos Wilson would be with the BAIO. The reason why I know this is because I've actually spoken to Amos Wilson. I've actually had a conversation with Amos Wilson. Amos Wilson is one of the reasons why Mr. Holipsism even exists and why the BAIO came into fruition in the first place. So anybody telling me that they are, oh, I study Amos Wilson and you not going according to Amos, I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Did you ever meet Amos Wilson? Have you ever had a conversation with him? Do you know where his head was at? Or do you only know Amos Wilson from the video that you saw on YouTube or the book that you read? How about asking them a question, talking to them, and seeing where their head is at? Have you done that? I did. I did. And I really treasure that, man. I treasure the fact that a lot of these people that I was able to meet, I've actually met, shook hands with, worked with Khalid Muhammad. We were at the Slave Theater. Khalid came. It was like during Thanksgiving. We went, everybody brought food, and we went to the homeless shelter, and we fed the people in the homeless shelter with the food from the Slave Theater. And Khalid, that's why I love that brother, because Khalid wasn't one of these high maintenance talking heads. You know what Khalid was doing? Khalid was taking stuff off the truck and helping us get things packed up and unpacked and everything. He wasn't acting like some fucking superstar. That's why I will always love and respect that dude, man, because I actually got a chance to meet him. And same thing with Amos Wilson. I got a chance to meet Amos Wilson. I got a chance to go to his funeral in the Bronx. I got a chance to meet Del Jones. I don't know if you guys know Del Jones from Philadelphia. Another powerful brother. Reverend Barashango, got to meet him. I got to meet Automatics. A lot of the people that I respect, I got to meet. I actually hung out with James Smalls. I spent the whole day with James Smalls and Leonard Jeffries. You know, but Isaac? What's going on, man? Somebody got you heated. But anyway, let me get out of here. I think I've said everything that I need to say. Oh, I got a thumbs down, so that means one of my bitches is listening. It's probably Gives Mad Head. Gives Mad Head Doctor is probably listening to my video right now. My prison bitch, my prag, who's mad because daddy don't pay him no attention. But he probably hears me talking about him right now. So he's already got the hot rag and the baby all out, and he's busting off right now. He gonna take this video. Once this video uploads, that nigga gonna take it and he gonna jerk off to his daddy mentioning him. So keep the dislikes coming, you fucking bitch. Oh, that's who's in here? The Queen of York? That's who's in here. Well, I've got him blocked, so I can't see him. So maybe he's in the chat room. He's the one that gave me. It's either him. Listen, good talk, Calypsism. We don't have to agree. Yogi Fish, is that the name? Yogi Fish? Respect to you too. I'm interested to know what you disagree with. I'm more interested in that. Like, what is the major source of our disagreement? Because as long as you for land infrastructure nationhood and you think we need a nation of our own, any other disagreement is just strategy and tactics. I mean, me and Kala and Minister and Earl and all of us have had multiple conversations with different strategies and tactics. But as long as you agree with the goal that we need something of our own, whatever, man, we in agreement. I'm even willing to, like, I've had conversations with Black Power Americans who think that we can have a nation within a nation. I've had conversations with them. I'm just for taking over this country, not leaving. Okay, let's start there. Before I go, y'all, let's address that. That's basically the equivalent of what I was talking about, where I say you can do that, but if you're not training and you want to fight Floyd Mayweather, I don't believe that you want to take over this country. I don't believe you. I think that it's just posturing. Now, how can you take over this country? First of all, taking over the country, I don't even know if I even in a situation where we have a highly successful satellite nation, why would you want to take over the headache of being in control of the United States of America? I would much rather have an existence like the other ethnic groups in this country do. They use this country for their own purposes, and they don't give a fuck about integrating into American society. They don't give. They come here, they use it, they make money off of it, and they take the money back to their homeland. I have no interest. Why would I want to be in charge of America? And then I got to deal with what? How to provide health care for over 300 something fucking people, 300 million people. Like, why do I want to? I have to because we're in a country now where you have all of these different lobby groups fighting for power. So now I have to sit up there and try to make everybody happy by taking over America. Because if you take over America from the white man, all of these people that's here in America are still going to be here. They're not going to just die and disappear. So that means you're going to have to address the LGBTQ community, XYZ community. You're going to have to address the Latino community. You're going to have to address all the other factions and ethnic groups in this country and try to make them. Why would you want to give yourself that headache? I would much rather have a satellite nation in America with my base of operations on the continent, and we doing trade with our base of operations, just like the Chinese in America are doing with the Chinese on the continent. And we just have a high level of existence here in America with that dynamic going on, rather than trying to take over America. I said this before, man, and this is for you, Yogi Fish. What America has successfully done is they've done that club thing, that when you want a successful club, what you do is you restrict people from coming into your club and you make it exclusive. And that's what America does. They did the same thing that you do when you're trying to open up a successful club. So you open up the club, you put your finest girls outside the club, you put your big bodyguards out there, and you have a crowd of people that's standing in front of the club. And then what you do is you pick and choose which ones you want to let in. This is street stuff. This is stuff that people that's run clubs know. This is all how it works. What that does is, and once you reject certain people, then now your club becomes a status symbol, because you judge yourself by whether you can get in there or not. And that's what they've done with America. They've restricted you, and then afterwards, they at a certain point they say, you know what? Let's let you integrate into our society. Are we not gracious? So this whole concept of taking over America, I don't want to take over a shithole. Why would I want to take on the responsibility of running a shithole? That's what it is. It's a shit. America is finished. It's done. It's the Walking Dead. There's no new frontiers in America. The infrastructure is already in place. The only thing that they can do to save themselves is to revamp and renovate their existing infrastructure, because that would provide jobs for a lot of people. But they're not going to do that because they're afraid of the socialist boogeyman. That's become a buzz point for them. So they're not even going to do the things that they knew they need to do to keep their own people happy. America can barely provide jobs for white people. Do you think they give a shit about us? This is why I said I'm going to get into a race war over Iowa. Nah, nigga. Don't I know the game, man. This is you trying to make your club exclusive so that I try to value it. Sorry, it ain't working. I would much rather have us build our own nation, and let's take over that. How about taking over that piece of territory and creating that for our people for the future? Why would we want to take over a shithole? That's what this is. It's a shithole. And we're gonna go to a race war over it. So we want America so bad that we're gonna fight white people over America. Come on, man. Come on. I think you know that that's not even. I don't even give a shit whether it's possible or not possible. I'm questioning why the fuck we would even want it. Why would he even want it? I don't want to deal with their people. I want to deal with their madness. Think of all the shit that they got to deal with right now. They got to deal with illegal immigration. They got to deal with the LGBTQ. They got to deal with the this and that and all these other movements popping up. All these other people that's fighting for their rights, so they piece of the pie, and so they got to make them happy. And that, who gives a fuck? At least in our nation, it'll just be us. It'll just be us. We are going to dominate. There will be other races of people there because they're going to have some functional purpose there. But the vast majority of our nation is going to be us, Black African people. We ain't going to have no Statue of Liberty. Well, you bring us your huddled mass. Get the fuck out of it. No, you go to America. Let the huddled masses go to America. See, we need to learn from America and see the mistakes that they made and not make it in our nation. Who the fuck would you're gonna open up? You're gonna open up your nation to the fucking world and say, if you're oppressed, come to my nation. And now you see what's happening because of that. You put that out there that you want everybody that's impoverished, and if you suffering somewhere else, come to us. We're the beacon of light. And now they come and you're like, whoa, hold on now, hold up. Yeah, we don't have all of y'all motherfuckers over here. Well, too late now, nigga. And that's what you want to take over? Come on, Yogi Fish. Yogi Fish. Yogi Fish. Talk to me. You tell me that you really honestly want to take over America. Type that in that. If you tell me, let's be honest. Let's have an honest conversation here. You want to take over America? Really? Come on. Give it up. You don't really want to take over America. You don't really want to do that. That's just a talking point. So even after everything that I just said, you still want that shithole? Why? Because that's reeking right after all of the laundry list of shit that I just rattled off for the last 15 minutes. You still want this place? What is it in America that makes you want to be here and hold on to this and take it over? Africa is our birthright. Africa is new frontiers. Africa has undeveloped land. Do you know what that means? When you have undeveloped land, that land is ripe for development. What that means is you can go to a place that's undeveloped and develop it. And in the process of developing this undeveloped land, you're building your infrastructure. What does that do? When you're building your infrastructure, that's creating jobs for your people. You're building an economy. It's like a snowball going downhill. In America, the infrastructure and everything is already in place. There's no new frontiers here in America. White people have entrenched themselves in the infrastructure of their own nation. So what makes you think that you're going to take over America? Take it over from who? Because you're going to have to go to physical war with the people in America. And for what? You're still not telling me why. Like, what is it in America that you want to hold on to so much that makes you want to go to war with white people over it? Because I'm going to tell you, I was born and raised in Brooklyn. And I have an affinity toward Brooklyn because this is, where I was raised. I know I have a lot of history with Brooklyn. But if leaving Brooklyn behind is the price I have to pay for nationhood, bye Brooklyn. What are we that in love with our hood Are the places that we came up in that we want to go to war over it? So I'm gonna go to war for Brooklyn so I can what? After the war is over, so I can keep the bodega there. Like, come on, man. Come on. Come on. If you want, all right, let me ask you a question. Oh man, I'm going past my time, but I want to ask because I think this conversation is interesting. Um, what do you ultimately want? Do you want Black people to have socioeconomic and political control over their own reality? Because if you do, your own nation should be enough for you. When you get your nation state and you actually have that, then you should be satisfied. So you're telling me that if you get your nation state, that's not satisfaction enough for you. You got to go to a race war with the white man over Iowa. And then once you complete that and you take over America, then you'll be satisfied. But all right, taking over the balance of a foreclosed home, but the home ain't shit. Why is this home enough? Why do I want to take over the balance of a shithole? I don't understand that. I'm just trying to get an understanding of why this place is so important that we have to fight white people over it. Yes. First, are the people already in Africa wanting us to come there? Of course. Actually, they're begging for us to come over. You know why? Because we're bringing our skills over. If you notice, the Chinese are taking advantage of the fact that we're not over there because the Chinese are doing the building. They want skilled people in America coming over. If you think you're going to take over America and you don't need to fight white people, what? White people lost their mind because Barack Obama was president. Barack Obama, they turned Barack Obama into fucking Malcolm X, Khalid Muhammad, and Louis Farrakhan. Barack Obama, you can't get more establishment and mainstream than Barack Obama. And they looked at him as some radical black militant who wasn't even interested in taking over America. He just wanted to work for them. So if they reacted that way to him, how do you think they're going to react to a black person that says they want to take over America and buy this foreclosed shithole? No, they didn't have to come in with force. The Chinese are smart. I don't listen. I'm not mad at the Chinese for doing what they're doing because we should be doing it. You can't get mad at people for working in their own interest. So I don't have a beef with Chinese doing whatever they're trying to do in Africa. My beef is with Africans on the continent and Africans here in America. Because if the African on the continent and the African in America ever combine forces, it's a wrap. I don't give a shit about the Chinese. It's a wrap. If we ever have the intelligence, if Black Wall Street was connected to Liberia, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. We wouldn't even have a BAIO right now. If Liberia, the nation state, was connected to Black Wall Street, the satellite nation, and they were doing business and trade with each other, first of all, our lives in America would be we would definitely be major players in the American economy on a real level, not just a purchase, not just a buying power level, but in terms of policy, we would be doing what everybody else does, buying politicians, forcing people to pass legislation that works in our interest. See, all the things that Black Republicans talk about, we would be doing if we had a goddamn nation state. Like I said, everybody wants to put the fucking cart before the horse. Why do people get criticized for gentrifying the Black Brooklyn area? What people? Oh, you must be talking about Black Power Americans and militant integrationists. What people are getting criticized? Could you explain that? Who? Oh, it went away. It got bombed away. But back to the question, what people are being criticized? White people? Oh, you talking about Black Power Americans and militant integrationists. Ain't no people in the BAIO criticizing white people for gentrifying Black areas. We already know what time it is. See, this is the beauty of being a nationalist. We don't have time to criticize white people for shit. It's like criticizing a fucking rattlesnake for biting you. What sense does that make? I'm going to criticize a scorpion because it killed, it bit me and poisoned me. We already know what time it is with white people. White people is not at the center of our universe. We are at the center of our universe. What's up, Vector? Vector, question. Now that you're in the chat room, is somebody trolling your name? Because somebody told me that you said something in Dynas chat about the black man who got killed by the white dude for defending his lady. Was that you or was that somebody else? Because I said I don't believe that. That sounds like a strange position for Vector to take. So when they told me about it, I'm like, was he was that actually Vector or was it somebody else? But anyway, that's an aside. You can hook up with me later on that. Yogi, we agree on that point. What point did we agree on? Which one? I'm trying to find some common ground here, so let me know which one we agree on. Well, you know what? I got to ask you what you actually said, because he said that you felt that the white guy was justified in killing him, which seemed odd to me that you would say that. But hit me up on my email, because I don't want to get into that here because I'm getting ready to get off. But Yogi Fish, what point do we agree on? Please tell me. Oh, okay, that's what I figured. Like I said, because I know that doesn't make sense for you to say something like that. I know my people, man. If anybody says something out of character, I'm like, the first thing I do is like, whoa, that doesn't sound right. Something must be going on. We agree on not worrying about what white people think. Yes, so that's our common ground. I think we should end on that. We came to a common ground on not worrying about what white people think. I agree 1000%. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm like a half hour over what I was gonna do. But I appreciate everybody. Please, I think everybody in here is with the BAIO. I think so. But if you're not, let me put the link in the chat room because Belle isn't with us today. I probably know why, because I scheduled this, impromptu. But that's the link to the group. What is that? Baden's mommy? You were talking crazy. Vector 313 is not a BIL member. He's a troll. Vector has been down with the BAIO for a long time. So I don't know. Like I said, I can't really speak on this. I got to speak to you directly and find out what the hell was going on. Because it just seemed like they just thought you was in there like saying, yeah, that nigga should have killed that black man. I'm like, what? That don't even sound right. Yeah, Vector been around for a while. Yeah, man, Yogi Fish, for real. My thing is, what I want is socioeconomic and political power for my people. So I'm more than sad. If we get well, I shouldn't say if, when we get our nation state, I'll be satisfied because we will be in control. We will control policy on that land. We won't be, and I'm talking about the end game because initially we probably kind of going to be piggybacking off of whatever the existing infrastructure of that particular government is. We're going to need that initially. But the ultimate goal is to have control policy in our own land and have complete control ourselves. That's the goal. That's always a goal. It's just like a teenager. When you're in your house, your goal is to not be in a house. Your goal is to have your own apartment. And I feel like just on a more bigger scale, that's what our goal here in America as Black people should be, to leave the apartment, get out from under our parents, the white man and woman, and have our own reality, have our own place. But we can do whatever the fuck we want to. We ain't got to worry about what mom and dad have to say about it. You feel me? And on that note, thank you guys for listening to me. I'm gonna get out of here because I got to get something to eat. So I will holler at you later. Peace.